Hey everyone, it's Rod with VanGuns coming back at you with another video. It's been 100 years since the introduction of the 270 Winchester, a cartridge that seems to remain as popular today as it was 100 years ago. Today, I want to find out why we haven't replaced it yet. Hey guys, before we dive into this video, please hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. I appreciate you guys watching my videos. Let's get back into it. The legendary Jack O'Connor played a huge role in elevating the 270 Winchester into one of the most popular hunting cartridges in North America. It's a great cartridge. People are still passionate about it today. But we've had a lot of innovation over the last 100 years, particularly here in the 21st century, with this tendency to make short action cartridges, high BC bullets, all that stuff that we see in cartridges like the 6.5 Creedmoor, the short Magnum line from Winchester, and of course the PRC cartridges. But yet, nobody's really tried to replace the 270. Now I know a lot of you guys are thinking, but Rod, the 6.8 Western is literally a replacement for the 270. Okay, the 6.8 Western hits all the marks of the modern cartridge. It can take those high BC, big 160, 170, 180 grain bullets. Okay, great. It's a short action cartridge. But there's one, I don't know, almost fatal flaw in the 6.8 Western. It's a Magnum. It's a Magnum. We have so many Magnums. We had Magnum fever for a while, but now I think we're having a little Magnum fatigue. The 6.8 Western is a significantly more powerful cartridge than the 270 Winchester. Is that why it hasn't really gotten a grip in the market yet? Despite backing from Winchester and Browning? It's still not on the top of the charts for sales. Does America just want a 270 Winchester? And yeah, I'd like to have a short action cartridge. Sure, I wish I could go a little bigger than 150 grain without having to modify my rifle or go to a fast twist. Why doesn't somebody give us a new 270? The old Winchester 270 ads, they still resonate today. That cartridge does what 90% of the hunters in North America want it to do. They don't want more power. If they did, they'd get rid of their 270 and they'd buy a 6.8 Western. But funny thing is, not many people are doing that. I touched on this earlier in a different video about the 30-06, kind of the same scenario. Magnum, Magnum, Magnum. And what the market's telling you to do is go buy a rifle in 270 Winchester. And guess what? Every major gun maker is offering their guns in 270 Winchester. I think you're going to find the 270 really is in a bit of a sweet spot, just like its older brother, the 30-06. Okay, Winchester is one of the backers of the 6.8 Western and is the primary distributor for 6.8 Western ammo. So I decided to go ahead and use Winchester for the 270 as well. So any comparisons we make to the 6.8 Western are coming from a fair perspective. So the 270 Winchester, the newly crowned Centurion, joining the pantheon of legendary cartridges to remain popular in excess of a century. Okay, so you can see we're pushing a 150 grain bullet here at 2,900 feet per second. That's delivering 2,800 foot-pounds at the muzzle. That's pretty impressive. And all the way down at 400 yards, Grandpa's cartridge is still delivering elk-killing energy with 1,605 foot-pounds and 2,195 feet per second. Plenty of velocity to open that bullet up. So about 25 years ago, the idea of the short, fat Magnum started to take hold. Winchester had a whole series of Winchester short Magnums, including the 270. What you'll see here is it's basically giving you a couple hundred extra feet per second out of the same 270 bullets they're using on the 270 Winchester. It seems like this cartridge never really took off. Yeah, it's still supported, and you can still get a reasonable selection of ammo and some rifles chambered in it. but it just didn't take off. The 270 Winchester still outsells it by a country mile. Now, of course, we can't do a comparison without including the 6.8 Western. This is a truly modern cartridge design. It does all the things that the modern cartridges are supposed to do. Heavy for caliber bullets, high efficiency, and super accurate. And of course, excellent out to long range for long range target shooting. Now, I like the 6.8 Western. It's an amazing cartridge, but it's not a replacement for the 270 Winchester. It's just not. It's clearly a Magnum. It's more powerful than the 270 Winchester Short Magnum. Also, even though it can take these 160, 170, 180 grain bullets, you know what it can't take is the 130s and the 150s. At least nobody's loading it for that. And I think that's kind of a mess. All right, here's the ballistics on the 6.8 Western. You can see, look at that, 3,300 foot-pounds at the muzzle, pushing a 170 grain bullet at 2970 feet per second. This is not a replacement for the 270 Winchester. It's a replacement for the Winchester 270 WSM. So all of you probably already know the 270 Winchester is essentially a neck-down 30-06. So they've got the same case capacity as the 30-06. They necked it down so that they could use faster, sleeker bullets. Now, flat shooting was really, really, really important back in 1925. Now, you may be saying, well, Rod, we like flat shooting today, too. Yeah, of course we do. But today, it's not as important as it was back in 1925. Back in 1925, rifle optics were crude. They didn't have a lot of range of adjustment for managing drop. Having it fast and flat really made a big difference for using those crude optics or for using open sights, which in 1925, optics were a very privileged thing to have. You had to have some big money in your pocket. So a lot of people were using open sights. The 270 was able to push a 130 grain bullet at 3150 back in 1925. And we can push it a little bit faster with today's modern powders and efficiencies in that old cartridge to get up to around 3,200 feet today. That's pretty fast. That's fast by today's standards. Is it the fastest ever? No. But this is a pretty efficient cartridge, and it's delivering really solid, capable performance on just about any North American game animal. Here we are today. Modern hunters are buying rifles chambered in this 100-year-old cartridge. They're getting it with 130s or 150s. They're taking deer. They're taking elk. They're taking pronghorn. It's just still, after all these years, a fantastic cartridge. The 270 Winchester has benefited from a lot of this new technology. You can load some of those high BC bullets in the old 270 without any modifications. Now, are they as effective as, say, the bullets that they're running in the 6.8 Western? No, you've got, cartridge overall length is an issue that's keeping the real heavy for caliber bullets from being used. You're kind of limited on about a 150 in 270. Now, there's some people that love the 270 so much that they've gotten special rifles with a little bit longer action and a faster barrel twist. That way they can run 170 grain bullets on a 270 Winchester. But that's a lot of effort and a lot of expense. Getting a custom rifle with a custom twist in the barrel, why don't they just go buy a 6.8 Western? Wouldn't that just be easier? Well, guys, there might be a reason that people are willing to do that, to go to that effort, to produce a custom rifle with a fast twist rate and a slightly oversized action so they can fit those long bullets in there. Is 270 Winchester just such a sweet spot that it drives people to that kind of expense and time and energy? I think it might be. Maybe it's recoil. The 270 Winchester has a much more mild recoil than these Magnum cartridges we're pushing out today. Recoil matters. I've got some heavy recoiling rifles. I have no problem with recoil. I'm more than happy to shoot a heavy recoiling rifle if that rifle's giving me something I can't get with a lower recoiling rifle. But I'll tell you what, I shoot my 243 Winchester way better than I shoot my 300 Weatherby Magnum. My groups are tighter and more consistent. Recoil does matter. And no matter how good a shot you are, you're going to do a better job with a lighter recoiling rifle. So recoil does matter. It matters to people that are recoil sensitive, but it also matters to people that are really trying to get the very best shot placement they can and want to consistently put bullets where they aim. And a lower recoiling rifle will help you do that at any skill level. So you can see that the 270 Winchester, despite its advanced age, continues to deliver excellent hunting results inside of typical hunting distances of 400 yards. I don't have the actual numbers on this, guys, but I'm pretty sure that 90% of North American hunters never take a shot beyond 400. I feel like the reason the 270 is still so popular today is largely because a lot of hunters don't need that long range capability. Now, some of you do, and I get it, but 90% don't. 90% don't care that you're flat out to 1,000. So if the cartridge companies want to try and push out a new rifle or a new cartridge, maybe they ought to look at the 270's ballistics. Stop trying to go faster than the 270. It's fast enough inside of 400 yards. The 270 Winchester delivers a perfect balance of power, range, flat shooting, and recoil. Is exactly why that remains a popular cartridge in this day and age of newer is better, except for the 270 Winchester, it seems, that continues to offer hunters exactly what they want and exactly what they need. That's all I got today, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and come right back here to VanGuns for the next video.